Hello.
Hello. Yep.
Hey.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good evening.
Oh, John is there. Okay, cool.
Afternoon.
Lurking in
am
shadows.
present.
I wanted to double check something real quick, John. Is your character's full name Long Veer? Is that like two names, or is that one name?
No, that's one. It's one. I just made it up just to go with the LV46.
How do you
Long.
spell that?
V-E-E-R. I just made it very simple.
So Longveer.
Yeah, Long would be his family name, and then Veer would be what his friends would call him.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So he'll probably introduce himself as Dr. Long.
Cool. All right, so I think everybody's here just except for David. He had to go to work today, so it kind of sucks. But that's cool. How's everybody doing?
Good.
You're welcome.
Not too bad.
I need to take 5 seconds, and I'll be right back. So just keep talking, Okay.
Okay, we're counting.
Let me add a couple seconds.
Just kidding.
I just realized with David gone, we're going to have to figure out who is actually in charge of stuff other than blowing things up. Because he was the one we decided on, and he's gone. So
Well, if things come up, I can always jump in there. That's fine.
Yeah. Or I could just screw things up again, and everyone will.
Today I'm just going to try to do a little bit of fleshing out of some backgrounds, sort of like flashbacks. If you think of like a sci-fi show, like Firefly or something, they had like a flashback episode. That's kind of what I was thinking that we're going to go today. And the idea that I had was that, okay, so if it's about your character, you have a lot more control. You have like veto power. You're kind of like the GM of your own background. But I want you to sort of alternate between narrating, where you sort of you're almost like telling a story about your background, and then you stop and sort of slow things down, set up a scene, and then designate to various players different NPCs in your background. Maybe there's something like some event that you were thinking about but didn't really know how it turned out, and you're willing to have a little bit of chaos thrown in there, a little bit more detail put into that section of your background. And then the other players can help you out with that. They can role play through it. They can offer suggestions, sort of like an out of character kind of thing, like wouldn't it be cool if in this situation this happens? So it's kind of an experiment. I've never done this in a campaign before, but I like to try new things and see how it works. So if it blows up in my face, then oh well. But I just figured I'd give it a shot. Does anybody have any thoughts about that before we try to do that?
No, I'm interested.
Well, how about this? We'll start with Ro here. What do you think?
Interesting. I've never done this before, but I'm curious how it's going to work. And I just want to, maybe it's good to check if there are any things people would feel uncomfortable playing. So I would feel bad if I designated some role to somebody and they would feel uncomfortable playing that type of character or something.
Well, I guess if you designate somebody as something and they said, hey, man, I don't want to do that, then so you just speak up when they designate you, I guess. I guess that'd be a good way to do it.
That's fine.
Don't be afraid to say something. We're all friends here. It's not that serious. So just, offer suggestions, role play through things if you can. And if you need to stop or you get any questions, I'm going to be here. So, but yeah, I'm kind of letting you guys have more responsibility, and hopefully you don't strangle yourself with the extra rope. But it should be fun. I have faith in all of you. So
let's not kill our own characters in our flashbacks.
There's a time paradox that wreaks havoc with the campaign. So, yeah, I don't think there's going to be really any dice rolling, so it's just all going to be narrative and role playing and out of character suggestions and things like that.
Actually, if we do kill ourselves, not that I was going to do this because it would screw with the campaign, but we could have a great crisis of identity later of okay, we were created. Why were we created? We were created to go on this mission of the Rift, where we brought back to life by basically corporate masters of doom who are messing with science that they shouldn't be messing with, where we created by the Rift as clones of ourselves, and we only think we remember going on this mission.
Well, how about this? We'll just play this out, and we'll deal with the consequences.
I was trying not to go too gonzo with it, but I'm perfectly comfortable with it going gonzo because that usually leads to interesting stuff.
Okay. I guess is John, are you back? I guess he needs a few more, 5 more seconds. Okay. We'll just hang out for a bit then. Things like, I don't know, like you can use things like yes and, yes but, things like that if if it feels right. Like someone offers a suggestion, it's like kind of close to what you want, but not quite really. You're like, yeah, that's okay, but how about we change this one little thing? So in some ways, I guess it's kind of like building your background. Alex, you said you were a little uncomfortable. Is there anything I could do or say to make it less uncomfortable with this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out ways that I can't. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about screwing up.
Like you don't want to reveal too much? Is that what you're saying?
No. I mostly just. I'm trying to figure out places where it would be. I don't know. It's just picking an event that's going to work well in this format that's kind of tricky.
Okay.
And also making sure that I don't screw up some major scientific facts. Like, I have to sort of explain away some of the stuff I said last session at some point.
I think Technobabble will cover that just fine.
I've already got explanations figured out.
Okay.
But I found that I have to afterwards kind of write things back to the way they make sense. It requires a bit of extra dancing whenever I slip up.
Oh, I don't think I've noticed anybody slipping up yet. I'm totally fine with. Yeah, like I said, there's a setting, but this is our version of the setting, so don't be too afraid of messing with canon or anything.
Okay. I'm just so fond of our solar system.
Yeah, don't give yourself gray hairs worrying about it or anything.
All right.
Yeah, so, I mean, does everybody understand the idea, I guess? Maybe that's what I should ask.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we'll find out if I understand it properly.
You're doing it wrong!
Oh, man.
Yeah, feel free to interject that.
I smack you through the internet. Do you have any thoughts, Phil?
For Theo's backstory, there's going to be what happens is he's going to be working one day, and then he suddenly hears this woo woo noise. He looks outside to see a police in the box. And then,
I would think somebody would do that.
So someone's going to have to play the doctor, and then someone's got to play his assistant, and all that other jazz, and It goes on crazy, wacky adventures, and then that will take.
Explains why there's a time paradox.
Exactly. And then, like 8 sessions in, we're still doing the backstory. It's like, well, could you just stop? We get it already.
Okay, Phil, your turn's over.
You played with Phil's Doctor Who campaign, and I don't know. Shit.
Yeah. Well, I am perfectly comfortable with the idea because I've heard about these kind of things before, and I actually thought they were interesting, but I have no concept of my character's background beyond he was in the Navy and now he's running this ship.
Well, that's actually this could be kind of good for you then.
Yeah,
you could set up a scene like just a suggestion is you could set up a scene in like a crew barracks with your other Navy officers or cadets, and that's it. You know?
We are in X place. Go. That would work. But if my impression was I'm supposed to have an idea of and set it up more like this is the time when X happened. Now play that out, and I don't really have any idea of what stuff happened in my career. So
we can have maybe more out of character talk then. You know, people can just offer suggestions for you, and then maybe you'll improv some ideas or something will pop into your head.
I I did have the idea that this is his first, like, he got up to first mate in his career before now, and then this is his first actual command, so I could play out, like, the end of that if I wanted to have it be the typical, the captain dies, you take over, and then they decide you were a good captain, and they make you one permanently or something.
Well, we can do the Alexes at the end then, since you guys are a little bit sketchy on the idea.
You're kind of nervous about or confused or whatever.
That's fine. John, are you back?
Man, this is some long 5 minutes. 5 seconds.
It's okay. So I guess it'll be down to Phil. Sounds like Phil's the most ready to do this. So how about we start with Phil? And Phil, like I said, just it's going to be a hodgepodge of narration, dealing with your, just talking about your character's background a little bit, and then you're in control, man. So if you want to open things up, like, hey, do you guys have any suggestions about what might have happened here? Okay, there was this scene that I really don't know how it worked out. So Rohir, you play this character, you play this, like you said, and then we'll just see how it goes.
Okay.
So the floor is yours, good sir.
All right. Well, to start off, I guess we'll start off where we left off, where Theo was about to go to sleep. But as he did, he kind of stares at the wall blankly, and he's reminiscing on the thoughts of what had happened this day. But the one that sticks out more in his mind is the thought of what he did to that ship. The idea that he suggested to the captain to blow it up, and how quickly he was able to do so, how quickly he was able to make that decision. And this brings him back to a flashback of his past. So then the flash occurs, and now we find a younger Theo on a space station named Theta 1, orbiting in one of the old mining colonies. Theo there is he's not really a technician per se, but he's a bit of a gearhead in this part. He's there with his parents and his sister and his brother, and in this scene he is staring out into the vast deepness of space, trying to figure out what he wants to do with himself in his own life. He's got tons of options ahead of him. And one day he notices a ship docking aboard. One of the members of this ship comes up. He notices that they are a member of the Cogs. And as we all will know, that the Cogs themselves are a gang of mavericks that go around. Basically, they're basically the gearheads. They fix things. They repair stuff. They like to mess around with the gadgets and stuff. And all the gangs hire them and use them for various projects that are way beyond their own technical expertise. And when you need something like that, you'll always go to the Cogs. And as a result, no one wants to attack them because they don't want to risk losing their business. So as a result, that's basically why no one really attacks them for the most part. But we see one enter on board, and let's see. Who wants to play him? I don't really have a name for him, but I guess I'll...
How about Lugnut?
Alright, there we go. He'll be Jack Lugnut Williams. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, I can take him if no one else wants him, but I'm not attached to it. So.
I really don't know what kind of personality he would have. He's a bit of a... I guess we can make him into a...
Well, maybe Alcov has some ideas.
Yeah, I do.
Just play it.
I go off in direct. You're the GM of this, so I'm perfectly comfortable with you saying that's not what this character is supposed to be, because you have more of an idea than me of that. But otherwise, I'll just go off and have fun with him.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. So he, I can't do accent, but he would be Cockney or some sort of lower class British accent if I could. Hello. So, Mr. Lognut Williams reporting. You said you'd had a issue for me to deal with. None of you guys can keep these places running, but if you could, I would be out of work, wouldn't I? So, doesn't bother me. Where's the what have you broke this time?
The large man that you are talking to is a fairly overweight individual, but he has a very jolly smile on his face and warm red cheeks. He, of course, didn't you also notice that both of his legs are also fairly mechanical, and he walks over to you. Well, looks like we done messed up the generator again. Gravity's been all fluctuating and such. People floating about, pets hitting the walls, that sort of thing.
That thing will keep me in liquor for 2 years at this rate.
Well, you know how it is out here.
Yeah, well, like I said, it keeps me fed, keeps me in a job, so I can't complain. I've been there before. I just find my own way there. And he picks up his toolbox and heads off to where he knows the generator is. Apparently he's fixed it before.
And during this time, there are plenty of ships that are going by. It's not a fairly busy station, to say the least, but it does get its visitors. But one ship in particular parks up. What's noticeable about this ship, though, is that they don't seem to have their there seems to be a lack of their caution lights or anything of the sort that you would use when you're docking. The ship makes its approach, connects in. Of course, no one really notices what's going on at that part, but that's one of the main ships that comes in. At this point, Theo is right there next to his one of his best friends, and we'll call him Leo Anderson. Who wants to play him?
I sense some trepidation amongst the other players.
No, I'm good playing him.
Okay, go here, go. That works.
Hey, did you see the ship just docking over there?
Oh, yeah. It's the third cog ship this week. Boy, at this rate, we're never going to have this station fully repaired.
Oh, well. There are worse things, I suppose.
Mm.
So, let me get this straight. Why did you get those nut bolts in here? Couldn't you fix your generator?
I could, but I didn't really feel like it.
All right, then.
It's just so boring out here. Nothing exciting ever happens.
Nah, that's right. Well, we could always get a drink. It's not like we ever do that before.
You know what? Sounds like a great idea.
Excellent.
Okay, then they head on to the bar. But as they do so, he runs across his brother, notices him walking around. The thing about Theo and his brother, they don't exactly see eye to eye. There is a not so much of a rivalry going on, it's just so much that they don't. Theo's priorities are quite different than that of his brother's. His brother doesn't really seem to really value the station, doesn't really seem to value almost anyone. It's a very selfish, self-centered persona of his. So that's kind of like the overview of this individual. And we see him walking past us. If anyone would like to play him, that's because his name will be call him Lars.
John or Alex? Anybody want to play Theo's brother?
I can be Lars.
Alex, okay.
Walking past, Theo will just do an ever so slight nod to you and say, "Hey."
Hey, gonna go get liquored up again, Scronster?
Well, yeah, not really much to do around here.
Well, you seem to be keeping yourself occupied enough with that lately, so...
Yeah, you
Have
gonna
at
get a drink, Lars?
Huh?
Are you gonna go get a drink?
You guys are late to the party.
Well, just let us know which bar you are, then we'll know which one not to go into. High five!
Yeah, he just doesn't raise his hand. He keeps walking.
Theo
Kind
will
of
raise his
spits
hand.
on the ground as you pass.
There you go.
You seem to be in a hurry. Where are you heading off to?
Is it really any of your business?
Well,
I mean-
perhaps not.
Okay. Well, that's...
But
You're
it's
usually
still...
slower on the uptake. I'm proud of you. Keep going.
Well... Theo will just then glare at you and be like, "Hey, you know what? I don't really care what you're doing. You just keep going."
Come on, man.
Yes.
Let's get the hell out of here.
All right. And then walking along, Theo will turn to you and say, "I don't know what the hell his problem is."
Why do you always keep trying, man? Just let it be.
No, he doesn't pull his weight around here. He does nothing. He doesn't care about anyone else. You know, we're out here floating in the depths of space. Anything could go wrong. It's nice that people would pitch in once in a while.
Yeah, well, if you don't mind me, I won't be holding my breath until Lars pulls his weight.
Oh, the day he pulls his weight, that's the day the whole Earth's gravitational pull will change. And with that, we then make it to the bar, and then we begin getting our drinks. A few drinks get put in us. We're very sober, but not for long. Just a little bit on the tipsy side. And at this point, while this is happening, all of a sudden, alarms start going off, and we'll be at the bar when this occurs. And all of a sudden, there's a bit of a rumble throughout the whole ship that can be felt. Oh, did you feel that?
What the hell's that?
Let's look outside.
Oh, I hope it's not the generator.
No, it's not. Oh no. And as you look outside, you notice the ship that had docked before is now accompanied by two other ships of similar make. But this time, you notice something about them. There's a plating that falls completely off from the ship, revealing an insignia. It's one of the gangs. But this one isn't really a big-time one. It's one of the many small gangs that compromise the Mavericks, the nobodies, as they might be called. But they're vicious. They don't have rules. They're trying to make it big on their own. And they could care less who gets in the way. And this is one of them. The insignia looks like that of a shark with a pistol in its hand. And they start firing on the station. No flashy explosions, but bright flashes, followed by deep rumbles. All of a sudden, the lights start flashing in the station. People are running around. You hear this over the intercom. Danger, danger. Station is under attack. Repeat, station is under attack. all of a sudden you start seeing various systems explode. Pipes start exploding, spewing a white mist about the room. People are running around. Others are gathering their children and running. And in the distance, we hear fire from the background.
Fuck, we gotta get out of here.
Oh, hey, hold on. We gotta make sure everyone else gets out of here first. Come on.
Damn.
Come here, miss. Are you alright? There we go. Let's get you out of here. As he carries the woman on his shoulders, her leg appears to be blasted with some plasma burns. As you all turn around to look, you notice that there is that you see a particular individual walking alongside a group of men. You notice that they are well armed, and this is where we see Lars alongside of. Now, at this point, this will be revealed that Lars is working with them, right? And this is where we'll play out this little scene.
So Lars is working with the Shark Gang. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Knew it.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you wouldn't choose this.
At this point, we'll be moving along, and then we'll turn around. We'll see someone running towards us, and then through the mist, we'll see a flash, a bang, and then the man falls down to the ground. And
Get down!
Oh no! Damn it! Let's keep going. If we keep going a little bit further, we'll get past this door here, and then we can shut it with the emergency switch.
Fuck.
Come on, help me pull her over here.
Damn, man, she weighs a ton.
It's not my fault. Come on. Okay. And then we hit the switch. But then as we look through there, we notice the people walking through there. Oh my God. You see that?
Damn, we're too late.
That's Lars.
What? No, it can't be.
No, it is. Look at him. That son of a bitch. He gave them the passcodes. We would have known them a long time ago. He must have done something. Must have just lured them in. Made some sort of deal.
I'm gonna put a plasma bolt right between his eyes.
That is if we live through it. I don't think we'll be able to get out of this. And as we look to our front, the wizard is now behind us. That door is also shut. But we also see other figures back there. Same men of the same make, wearing the same logo. They begin firing at the doors, trying to get them shut open. We're trapped in here.
Damn. What do we do?
Well, and his panic thought, Theo then starts ripping off the panels. I have an idea, but it's not going to be fun. Start ripping off these panels here, and then let's open up this layer here, and he'll point to a section of paneling that is bolted in a little bit. He'll start pulling out a couple of tools and say, here, use this, and we'll just pry these open.
All right.
And then as you all do that, you'll notice that there is a singular, like a nice little section, a little cubby section filled with just enough room to cram some people in, but it's very tight. Here, get her in there, and you get in there as well.
What about you?
I'm going to get in there, but first I need to try something real quick.
All right.
Okay, at this point, Theo will head over to the to the outer wall, which at this point there's a couple of portholes strewn about. There's always a little device next to each of the portholes, and he'll start filling with it and start messing around, pulling out wires and such. And as this is happening, the doors are starting to open up a little bit. Sparks flying. The mist starts rolling in, a mixture of water vapor, smoke, and death as it starts rolling in. As he pries it open, he turns to his left, and there he meets Lars standing there, right at the scene.
I'm trying to get a sense of what our surroundings are. Are we still in the bar or?
No, this is outside the bar. It's like, think of it as like the outer ring of the station.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like a hallway or something like that?
Yeah. And then we got space on that side, and then we got a hallway here a little bit. There are various windows and stuff.
All right. Lars just turns to Theo and says, "What the hell do you think you're doing now?"
I don't think it really matters at this point. But just to let you know, I'm not going to let you take on the station.
You're sitting there with some wires in your hand, and I've got a plasma bolter in mine. How do you feel that's going to work?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me? He'll start to back away, going over towards the little space where there's a bunch of ripped off paneling off to the side.
What I think you're going to do is you're going to find the shittiest, cheapest pod on this station, and I'm going to let you get in it and fire yourself off. 'Cause I'm nice that way. So you can fuck off to parts unknown, and, forget about this stuff. You never seem to care that much for the level of excitement anyway. I mean, it's spicy right now, but, kid, it's gonna get real quiet soon.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Beads of sweat rolling down his face. As he moves, he'll crawl into the cubby hole.
Kid,
But,
that's not the way to the pods.
Oh, I guess it isn't. But I don't think you're going to care here in a second.
Well, we'll have to see. I've got to clear out this space. Got to clean things up for my friends.
So do
We're
I.
using industrial cleaner, kid. I think
Then
you
maybe-
should scoot.
Then maybe you could use a vacuum cleaner. And then as he scoots in there, he'll hit this little panel on the inside. And then a door will end up slamming shut. But as it does, it catches his right arm. You can obviously tell that as he's squeezed in there, he can't get in there all the way. And no, it's not his right arm, it's his left arm. He can't get in there all the way, and as he does, the door slams shut, and it cuts off that arm. He lets off a tremendous scream as he's stuck in that crammed hole with Jack and the injured woman. And when he does, you notice that the panel starts flaring, and the window shatters. And all of a sudden, all the air is being sucked out.
And you would probably hear Lars screaming if there were, molecules of air close enough together for it to vibrate. or carry it.
And from there, we'll fast forward a little bit. The scene catches under fire. Theo has passed out. Jack manages to get him out. As they do, the station has finally got itself sealed, but it won't be but for many, many hours. And Jack ended up needing to cauterize the wound with several plasma cords that are in there. And as all that's going on, they end up doing a quick little body count. Lars's body is never found amongst the floating corpses out in space. But at least 20 or 30 men are sent out there floating. When all this is happening, you see the door being cut open, and there we see Jack, aka Mr. Lugnut, sitting right there over top of us. And a barely conscious Theo looking up at him. So, did we get him?
Alcov, you still online? Think he bounced out. Alcov, you there? Are you mute? Hey, John, are you there?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what's going on? Huh. Silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did a good job there, kid. What the hell happened to your arm?
I wasn't too quick on the draw. The panel closed in, cutting it off.
Fuck me in the eyes. That looks painful.
Oh, after 10 minutes of screaming, it kind of goes away.
Shit, this boy here looks like he's got half your blood on him.
I glance over at you, Leo. Sorry about that. I know that's your favorite suit.
Yeah, well, you're my favorite friend, so we'll call it even.
Are they gone?
Well, you boys don't plan on staying here much longer, do you? I mean, this place is a dump.
What do you think, man?
Yeah. I'm more than happy to, but what happened to everyone else?
Well, you look out there, you see them floating. Don't they know better? You're supposed to breathe out when you go out in the vacuum. Half their bodies exploded out there. It's a fucking mess.
What about most of the station's inhabitants? The people, I mean, not the pirates.
It's a damn shame. Damn shame. Well, unless you boys feel like living in the walls here, might as well come with me. You boys can do lift and put two panels together, it looks like. Got a little bit of smarts to you, nothing else.
I'd say I got a lot. Count me in, and with his one good arm, he'll grab hold, lift himself out.
I guess I'm in too.
All right. Well, watch your step, and yeah, the ship's this way.
And from there, they get onto the ship, and this is where the scene kind of fades back out. And the last memory we'll have now is of Theo glancing out of the Cog's ship as it's leaving the station. It's tattered in repair. Pieces all about, sparks and flashes all about the station itself. And all the while seeing the corpses floating about. They look like tiny specks now as the shuttle makes its way before it goes onto a jump. And that's where it goes backwards now. And then we see Theo staring out at the ceiling. His look now stone cold. Takes a deep breath. And then closes his eyes. to go to sleep.
Excellent, Phil. That was great.
Yeah. Thank you. Well,
Good job.
Put the little touch and go there for a while.
Sorry. Is everybody still here? Alikov, you there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were calling your name, and we got silence. I figured you went to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I went to that because it seemed like I assumed my character would never show up again in that flashback.
Oh. I just jumped in there at the end. So.
Yeah, you did a fairly good job playing him, from what I heard. So, probably better than I did. I had an image in my head. I didn't really live up to it, but
That's all right.
I thought it was pretty good. It captured what I was looking for.
It's all right. We're throwing things at you. It's more about improv than having prep here. So.
Yeah, we're not improv specialists. I'm not.
Okay, so that was Phil. Who's next on the chopping block? Who feels like going? Any volunteers?
I'm fine with going next if you guys are up for it.
Okay, so yeah, we saw how Phil did it. So yeah, just do your thing, man.
Yep. All right. Okay. Colt returns home from his studies. And Colt is from a family that is very well off. And he is coming back to his family's estate and proud of himself, of what he has accomplished. And in his studies, he has actually attached his own robotic arm to himself with a little bit of help here and there. But as Colt returns to his family, which he dreads because his family are all very accomplished and very high valued members of society, and big surprise, Colt is not. And he is considered always to be the one that lacks, and whatever he does and however great the achievement he has achieved, his family considers it to be mediocre at best. And because whatever he does, either his brothers or his sisters have done it better, and if, God forbid, they didn't do it better, then there's always father or mother that at least did it twice as well as he ever did. So he now, with a heavy heart, returns back home and is really on the verge of breaking with his family because he's had it with them, but well, he needs to see them one more time before he can actually sever the bonds that he has with them. So as he was standing on the platform, it was either a choice: strip club or family mansion. But old habits die hard, and he went to the family mansion, where there is I don't know if they do Christmas or something, but there's a feast there, and he is expected to attend. So as he comes at this estate where all things valuable are present, the first person he meets up is his oldest brother, and who is a vice president of some sort of huge, important thing, and, well, sees Colt arrive with public transportation of sorts, and shakes his head as he approaches. Who wants to play him?
Oh, I'll do that.
All right, excellent. So Colt walks up with his backpack or large sack on his shoulder and holding it with his new acquired robotic arm, as he looks at his older brother and says, "Hey."
He'll be greeted with a raised eyebrow, followed by him shaking his head from side to side. And thus the prodigal son returns, and no doubt half himself, I see. You turning yourself into a monster or something there,
Yeah, well, I can't become more of a monster than I already am, right?
This embracement of the electronics might be nice, but I have to say, you're not really embracing the full spectrum. You could have gotten yourself a much better arm out there. Of course, you never did like to spend the family's wealth. That's why you're in the position that you are now. And then he leans forward, helping out the common folk. You should have gone into the lucrative mining industry. The trades there are lucrative, and you can make any deals you need.
Yeah. How's that working out for you?
Oh, most assuredly so. And he lifts up his sleeve, showing us what looks like an obviously better attachment of an arm. You see, it combines form, art, and functionality, made by a top designer, of course. It is a beautiful craft of the thing.
Of course.
Not like that. What you have there on your arm, if you can even call it that.
Hey, this is a top-of-the-line arm as well. As he says that, a shoot of steam of sort comes out of it. And shut the fuck up.
Oh, my. Oh, is it steam-powered as well? What a trivial device you have there. But let us not prattle on further. We wouldn't want you to start watering the plants at this rate. Let us see what the family is doing, yes?
We both walk into to the room. Robots are cleaning things up as always, and one of the robots acknowledges Colt, which was more like a confidant for Colt when he was staying in the house during holidays and stuff. But Colt never really leaves on to the connection that he has with this robot, because knowing his family, they would probably sell it or just melt it down if they knew he had affections for it. So he dumps his bag into the corner and says, "Is dinner ready yet?"
So who feels like playing the robot? Maybe John? Have you played anything yet?
Oh, yeah, I'll be the robot.
Sure.
Welcome home, Master Colt. Dinner will be served in approximately 2 hours.
Good. It's about time. Bring this to my room.
Right away, Master Colt. And the robot bows, and he treads along and picks up your items and goes up the stairs.
And as you do, your brother will look at you and say, "Oh, and please do wear some attire that is most appropriate. This traveler's wear that you have on just simply won't do."
As my brother commands, I follow the robot towards the stairs, and as I go up the stairs, I see my sister coming down, and my sister is renowned for her beauty and her way with men. And Colt looks at her and sees this beautiful, angelic-like girl, which had many alterations done to her body, but is freakishly attractive. But he knows how dark her soul truly is on the inside, as he looks up at her and shivers run down his spine, Let's see. Hi.
Cold! Oh, Cold, what happened to you?
I got a new arm.
Yeah, but what happened? Oh, did you get in an accident?
No.
Little bro.
What? I'm fine. I
No,
put it on
you
myself.
can tell your sis. Come on. I'll help you carry your things. It must be hard with that. You know.
It's fine. It works better than my own arm.
Oh,
I just need to make some alterations.
yeah, but how do you end up with this? What hack put this on for you? We can sue.
It's fine. It's fine. It's look.
No, we... never take help from anyone, will you? Oh. Well.
So, tell me, is it true? Are mom and dad really split?
You could put it that way. I'm sure they'll always have a place in their heart for each other. But you know, it's kind of nice having a quieter house, isn't it?
I guess so.
I mean, it'll make dinner a little tenser now, but it doesn't seem like you're wanting to eat with us anyway. Why are you having this brought to your room?
Because I need to stay at least one night and I need to change.
Wow, you're not seeming like you're really here for our company, are you? Is this just... Oh, you need a place to stay. Oh, this was silly of me. We've got new linens in your room. They're lovely. Lovely. We had guests over this weekend who raved about them.
I'm sure you will have left quite an impression. If you excuse me.
Ta-ta.
As he moves back into his room, the robot is there, putting all his things, or the few things that he brought, in the extremely large closets and things. Are you okay?
I am fine, Mr. Cole. Are you okay?
Can one ever be okay in this house?
From what I observed, and from what you have told me, I don't believe so.
Yeah, never forget it. So, do I have any spare clothing left that will be up to par for the dinner?
As you would expect, your mother had left a suit, very particular suit for you to wear, which is left. I have, excuse me, which I have left on your bed.
That thing?
Yeah, you see a slightly out of date, garish, purple dress suit. It's slightly out of times, but apparently that's your mother's favorite color, and she loved you, just adored you in it.
Good times, good times.
We may have to hem the arm. I might say, that looks like a magnificent arm piece you have.
Really?
Oh, yes, quite state-of-the-art.
Thanks. Yeah, I attached it myself.
It's most impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, I left some rooms for alterations, but it should be really nice once I'm done with it. So he kind of lingers in his room for a moment until he is expected to go down for dinner. And as he puts on his attire, which is expected of him, and goes down, the entire family is gathered in the main hall or in the main dining area. A table that would seat at least 6 times the people that are present is fully set and fully filled with all kinds of delicacies and extravagant things. As Colt is the last to enter the room, and all his family members kind of look at him and give him the, "Oh, yeah, it's you," look, and then kind of continue on with their talks about mergers and suing and mining and that sort of stuff. As Colt sits down at a little corner of the table, his father raises an eyebrow and says something to him.
I think Alikov, you're left. You want to be the father?
Oh yeah, I got the father and brother confused. I thought father had already been taken. Yeah, sure. You seem to have become more distant during your time away. Are we no longer good for you? Kind of gesturing at the large mass of empty space between you in the corner and everyone else.
This is always the place where I sit.
Well, not usually with so much space between us. You seem to have hoped that we forgot where you would sit, and that is, well, you have not been away that long that we forgot your dinner customs.
Fine. He stands up and moves closer to his family and sits down. Better?
Yes, he nods at you. This is acceptable. You don't have to be warm. You don't have to like it, but at least keep up some appearance that you actually care about your family.
Yeah. So, Dad, is Mom coming or not?
Now, you can see her later, or she'll come at another day. But we decided that the first day should be with the family that still lives here, and you can decide with her what you want to do. I'm sure she wants to see you, but she didn't want to ruin your first night back with unnecessary tension.
How considerate. So I finished my studies.
Yes, and you've gone off to minister to the poor afflicted of the slums. I heard. Most valiant of you, but really, is it becoming of my son?
You don't think so?
My father worked his ass off at jobs like that so that his descendants would not have to, and you throw that all away and run Brett back into the muck. What kind of honor does that pay to me or to his memory that you would throw away his sacrifice so freely?
Come now, Father. We mustn't be so hard on Colt. He is, after all, our Colt.
Oh, but Colt that he is. he is still the most, how do we say, underachieving of the lot.
Yeah, but it's cute.
Oh, it is cute, isn't it? Like that of a child, huh? Oh, waiter, if I asked for more wine, I would have told you. Now get. I'll take a sip.
Yeah. Well, I think grandfather would be proud of me.
Yes, well, you never knew him, so of course you would assume that. Oh, you have your pet image of him as some sort of hero of the masses, which he was not. He was just
Grandfather was a hero.
He was a hero to us because he drew us out of that life, but he was just as disdainful of his fellow poor as we are. He just worked to get away from them, and then when he finally had, he never wanted his family name to be sullied by association again.
You see, our family has always raised itself to be... Oh, I'm sorry.
Now you can go.
Oh, okay. You see, our family has always raised itself to be the best of the best. Some would say our practices are almost Earther-like, but that's quite an insult. Earthers follow rules. We don't have to. That's why we're the best. That's why we have such luxurious surroundings. If only you would have embraced that and taken in some of that je ne sais quoi that is our essence, you might have done better for yourself instead of helping out those selfless, lazy individuals out there. They claim themselves to be pioneers, but what have they really done but become riffraff floating out in the cold blackness? I'll take another sip.
I think they're brave for being the only ones willing to take these frontier positions at the edge of the galaxy. But the truth is, they're the only ones who are pathetic enough to take them because no one else wants them. All the good places have been taken by people like us already. So all that's left for these scum is the pioneer lands.
These people fight to make the best of what they've got. Who can say the same for you guys?
We make the best of what we've got, with the exception of you. We just have more. Because our parents and our grandparents fought for to get more, so that we would have it, so that we would be able to make even more of ourselves. You're the only one who refuses to fight with what you have. You disdain what you have.
How much does a person need?
As much as they can earn for themselves. We've earned all this with our own blood, sweat, and tears. What have they done? Oh, let me guess. Living? That's not good enough. It's called survival of the fittest, those who fit in best, and we fit in quite well.
It's odd, isn't it? They have so many, or so much blood, sweat, and tears, and they just don't know how to spend it, do they?
Well, even with all the gadgets that they can make attach themselves, they could never actually invent what is called originality.
You know, you guys, you're really something else.
Oh, we think you are too, Colt.
Yes, in a sort of lesser way, but we already knew that.
Right. Yeah, well, you know what? He stands up. I should have never come here. You know, fuck you. Fuck you, all of you. I don't need you guys.
Nowhere else to go.
I don't need to go anywhere else, as long as it's just not here. You guys are a bunch of... I don't even have a word for it. Trust me. One day, you'll look back on this, and you'll know you're wrong. He walks out. So Colt heads towards his room and tells the robot to come with him. And as they both leave the house, his family is somewhat gathered in the hallway. As Colt flips them off and walks out of the door, and as the robot follows him, it slowly starts to shut down.
There's...
What's going on? Come on.
Oh, what? Did you actually think you were going to walk out of here with something that we provided you?
Seriously?
I will tell him, Father.
It's our property. It won't leave the house. It's programmed in so that it can't leave.
Fuck you. Fuck you all. He runs off.
And as he runs off, the father pulls out a little handheld thing and presses a button that makes the robot thing explode. As it's like standing on the threshold.
And that's the only scene. All right, that's it.
Nice.
Okay, so your family are all assholes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not a good family.
Pretty much, yeah. We will blow up your friend just because fuck
Just because we can. Fuck you.
Oh,
That's great.
That was fun.
Cool.
That was
I mean, I'm enjoying how this is working out. This is cool. It's getting us a little bit of, look into the characters, from a different angle.
I don't think we ever would have really found out about his family without this.
Yeah.
Okay. At least it couldn't
Yeah, I'm
really
sure that's
help.
not something he speaks about, yeah.
Hey guys, want to hear a fun old tale about my family?
Yeah.
Yeah, and how they blew up my friend the robot, who's like the only person I like.
It's like something you say as you're drinking. It's like, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
You're gonna run across that model sometime and be like a single tear. Like you'll that's the Mark 6, like my friend. He's gonna be like, do you want to play chess? And you're gonna be like, oh my god, yes I do.
Yeah. It went from like Simon Tam to, okay, these guys are just assholes. That was initially like, oh, you're the doctor that's going off to the fringes and from the wealthy family that kind of disapproved. I was like, they are so far beyond that.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so we're down to John and the two Alexes.
Excellent, you guys jumping in how you did. It was very cool.
I wasn't very, as you could probably tell at the beginning, I wasn't very comfortable playing the father. Not because I had a problem playing that, just because I, for some reason, couldn't get into the character. But
it worked out. I liked how you blowed the robot up. So
yeah. I do it. I was like, oh, he's just a cool asshole. I was trying to differentiate him from the brother, who had already kind of been established in that asshole aristocratic father role.
Yeah.
Until I discovered that he was just sadistic, it didn't really work.
Yeah, I was trying to go with like the sucking up theme. Like he's the kiss ass of the group, and he just wants to just do his own thing.
Right. That worked. The dynamic between the father and brother worked really well.
Mm-hmm.
Just the dynamic between Colt and father, which kind of didn't really develop until the very end. And it's like, oh, you're just an asshole. Like beyond it. Because everyone else is an asshole because father trained them to be assholes. Father is an asshole because he likes being an asshole.
It also shows how easy it is to king up on somebody.
Yeah.
Like you can instantly get into that role. You can bounce back and forth, and you can easily it's weird how social interactions work that way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Which both of them have left kind of threads open. Both of the scenes have left kind of threads open for the future. Where in the first one, of course, their first captain can come back, and which would be fun because I would like to play him again. And in the second one, you don't know which version of their father is right, or their grandfather is right. Like, Colt may have what he thinks is evidence that, oh, he must have been a non-asshole. And of course my parents are just making this up to justify their snobbery. But for all we know, he actually could have become a snobbish asshole. He just, because there are people that are like that they pull themselves up by their bootstraps and they still become snobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you ever discover that they were right, it would kind of break you, I assume.
Yeah, it looks like you look up to your grandfather a lot, you know.
Yeah, because he was a doctor of sorts too. So
yeah, neat. Okay, so who feels like going next? We got John and then 2 Alexes. Any volunteers? Should I roll it?
I think we should be between an Alex sandwich.
Okay, we're gonna roll the dice then. So John volunteered to get second. So looks like Alakov is up.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, we'll start on my first, I guess my only mission, or my only ship that I've been on before this, which I don't have a name for, because I wasn't prepared to invent dungeon names, but anyway, and we can either start with me as lowly guy and show how I became first mate, or we probably should start with
well, I can offer you a name then, if you want a name. We can say
Lollipop. No, wait.
Tachikaze. Takakaze?
Okay. And I was thinking how I impress the captain, which would either be how I became first mate, or would be something I did at that point, probably how I became it, because I assume he promotes somebody that interests him. And I was going to set it up, sort of like build it with, as I'm trying to meditate on my mental state and my morals and where this is coming from, sort of sociopathy thing. I think back to a similar situation when I was first mate of this other ship, where, and did I make the same decision there? And, like, maybe questioning, okay, either, no, I didn't, clearly, or, yes, I did. I made a similar decision, but I felt bad about it. And is this whole sociopath thing just me becoming hardened, or is it the rift messing with my head, or what? Like, because I've always been good at tactics, but at what point did I become a tactical thinker to the exclusion of all else and all emotion? So we think back to when I was kind of the subordinate tactics officer behind the captain on this ship, and we encountered an Earther battle group. We stopped because we are escorting a convoy, a dungeon convoy from one of our asteroid colonies, which was carrying like minerals and stuff, and some Earther ships stopped us and hail us. They are a big group, so we stop and we are hailed. And who was to play my captain and the Earther captain?
I'll play the Earther captain.
I'll go ahead and play the captain.
I would be happy to take one of the roles in this conversation, but I just realized I made myself first mate, and the captain is still alive, so he probably made it because...
No, that's good. You're supposed to play your character, so yeah, it works.
It just feels odd to go like, it's my thing, but here, we start with 2 other people. Just kind of put everyone on the spot.
It's okay.
What was the name of the ship again? Was it Takakaze?
Takakaze.
Okay, gotcha.
So I guess the Earther captain would hail first.
Gundren vessel, do you respond?
This is the Takakaze. We acknowledge you.
Takakaze, you are in Earther Federation area. We're going to have to seize all ships and any cargo that you may have.
This vessel does not recognize your presence in this area, nor do we, as the Gongan, recognize your territorial disputes in this zone. We refrain from ever having you search us. We also recommend that you turn your vessel around and leave.
Captain, you can clearly see that we have a battle group of 35 ships here. You are greatly outnumbered. There is no way that you can defeat us. I recommend you give us all your supplies, which we are guessing is the diatribe that we need. That's in all your shuttling vessels. And then we will let you leave with your life.
I would rather die than let you soil this ship with your filthy earther boots. And with that, he will just shut off the communications. Attention, members of the Takakaze. This is your captain speaking. Today, we shall go to glorious battle against the other enemy. We are outnumbered, and we will most likely die. But I want you all to know that we will die honorably as warriors in the Gongan Empire. Let us pray that Sojo will watch over us as we march gloriously into this conflict. That is all. Battle stations.
I will take my battle station, which I assume being kind of first mate tactics guy would be sort of like the guy on the deck, like the captain sits on the bridge and looks at the tactical situation from his perspective and gives a sort of overarching goals of there's people massing over here, go that way and stuff, and I just like sit in the area with all the gunners and stuff and relay the orders to them and deal with the situation in our ship. Like if somebody gets hurt or if we have damage, I can run damage control while he's looking at the like big tactical map overlay thing.
The captain will walk over to you and say, "What do you make of the situation, first mate?"
We're going to, as you said, we are going to die. I say we take as many of them with us as we can. Now, the easiest way to do that would be to just drive our ship into the middle of them. Like, we need to get them. Here's the only way we get out of this. We need to get them into a situation where we can do maximum damage, which would be clustering them all around us. We would lure them in, cluster them all around us, somehow survive that, and then blow the reactor. Because a giant explosion nuclear reaction destroys many of their armada as possible and fly away with as many of us as we can in the shuttlecraft. The problem with that is that we don't have enough shuttlecraft to take more than a couple of our crew with us. Like, I can take you, I can take me, and maybe one or two other, basically we got a landing party worth of our guys. But everybody else is going to blow up in a ball of nuclear fire, and they can't know that or they won't sell what we're doing.
You seem to be very focused on your survival instincts, he'll say as he'll walk around your station.
Well, if you want me to die too, I'm willing to die with honor as well, but I figure we might as well save who we can. I mean, if you think that that's dishonorable, I won't do that. But I'm not talking about survival. I'm willing to risk this thing blowing up in my face and killing me too. It's just, if there's a way for some of us to get off, as many of us should as possible. But
I agree with your sentiments. Let us analyze the surrounding area. Perhaps we can make use of our environment a little bit more effectively. I do acknowledge your initial tactic is very bold.
That's not an initial. Obviously, that's not a positive thing. That's not something we want to just blow up our crew and our ship. It's just if you're determined to fight this battle, that's the only way I see us winning or any of us surviving. Since there is no real terrain, given we're in space. I mean, okay, and then I have a moment of like doing the touching chin thing of, oh wait a minute, we were just on an asteroid. We can make terrain. Have the convoy jettison a bunch of its mineral stuff, and it will create basically a mini asteroid field around us. And the Earthers, if they want the cargo, will have to stop and take it, at which point we can fly around them as they're slowed down by trying to take stuff or by trying to just get around all the debris and blow them up. We can play cat and mouse with them whenever they get stuck in this artificial asteroid field and destroy them, and it will whittle them down at least enough maybe that we can escape or something. We can kill enough of them for honor, and then we can get away.
He'll glance at you, and his eyebrow will be slightly raised. That sounds like a sound plan. He'll sit back in his chair, crossing his legs over. Commence the operation.
Okay. I will hail the vessel we're escorting that has all the cargo with it, and say, mining vessel, whatever, with a name that I haven't invented, whatever. This is the Takakaze. We need you to jettison some of your cargo to create cover for us.
Who feels like being that captain? Anybody?
I'm okay with that captain. Yeah. Fine.
Okay. Yeah, you're a mining vessel captain. So.
Can you repeat that, please?
Jettison, 25% of your cargo to give us cover. We need, or 50%. We need to create an artificial asteroid field around this convoy so to slow down the Earthers.
25%, isn't that a bit much?
Not if we want to create a legitimate asteroid field with room to maneuver and to trap them. If we can create a small screen, but they can just, with less than that, but they can just shoot the entire thing and blow up anyone hiding behind it, even if they can't see us. To create a
who's going to be signing off on that?
The captain. I gesture at the captain of my ship.
All right, 25% it is.
All right. And we see a bunch of basically mini asteroid rocks, moon rock type things, fall from the back of the ship we're escorting and float around us. And I call up to the pilot of our ship. Helmsman, be aware that we're going into dangerous terrain, and you'll need to be very careful. But be prepared to sneak around behind these Earthers and shoot any of them you see exposed. And then call the gunners. Fire at will whenever you see an exposed Earther vessel, whenever you see a good target. We'll just take our shots when we find them. And click. And then I guess we fast forward through a sort of montage of us doing that. And whenever we blow up one of the ships, the Earther ships, it takes out a section of the asteroid field around it. And we have to jettison more cargo as we, because they have like a bunch more ships than us, so we use up a lot of the asteroid cover that we had created. We have to make more, and we have to make more, and we have to make more. And then there's still lots of it left. And are there still lots of Earthers left? And they finally managed to. They've landed some small hits on us, and they've hurt some crew members, and then they finally managed to land a shot on the bridge itself, and there's a big explosion and fire and whatnot, and the captain goes flying out of his chair, and I run over and see that one of his arms and one of his legs have been basically ripped to shreds by the debris and cut off and whatnot. So basically they're either haven't been amputated already or will need to be. And I go, Captain, what? And I look over and I see like the bridge controls and whatnot, or the command circuits are damaged. The ship is basically a crippled husk at this point. Like the guns still work and most of the stuff still works, but the navigation equipment is messed up, and the controls for various things, whatever's in this area, are messed up. So it will be hard to maneuver, which basically means we're screwed. And I run over to the captain. What should I do? The navigation is destroyed. We can barely move. Certainly can't continue our hold. This.
With a bloodied hand, he'll raise it up into a console and try to lift himself. Yeah. He'll start typing into the console that he can find. This is acting captain's log. Kahaku of the Takakaze. Engaged enemy earther vessels. Let it be known that I started this battle in a futile situation of an ambush by earther vessels. I will not see this day through. Main battleship destroyed. I now pass on command to first mate. He will now be captain. Socho, guide me. And with that, he'll kind of collapse. As his back slides against the back of the panel, he'll look up at you. Hi. And grab his emblem of a captain, and then slaps it right onto your chest, and blood somewhat smeared on it, as well as your uniform. You are now captain. Get the ships out of here. This battle was futile from the second it was started. However, the purpose being that we get as many people out of here alive. That is your final orders. From there, you will do what you need to do.
Yes, I will, and I head over to the comm thing, which still works, or I find an intercom somewhere else, whatever, and I call, this is Acting Captain Lyren. The captain has been killed, or is dying. Our navigation has been crippled. This strategy will not work. We must get out as many people out of here as we can.
From there, the captain will actually look at you and, Lyren, help me up. Take me to the navigation's chair.
I do. I carry him around.
I will fly this ship into theirs and distract them long enough for you to get them out of here.
Yes, I will order the mechanic to overload the reactor, like I said, and I will get as many out of here as I can. But like I said, we don't have, particularly with the hits that our escape pods have been taking, we don't have enough capacity to get all of the crew off. So a lot of them will still die.
That is all right. A crew that is loyal to their captain is willing to go to hell with them and back. Remember that, Lyren.
Yes. And I think the call into the mechanic. or I can leave that to the captain even, and head off to the escape pods. And that would basically be the end of it, is we just have, like, me seeing a bunch of panicking crewmen running to escape pods, knowing that they're about to blow up. And, like, as I'm going away in my pod, I see the ship fly into the middle of the armada, and a distant explosion as it takes out the majority of the remainder of the fleet.
Yeah, nice action scene. Ship-on-ship violence, asteroid
Great.
fields.
Well,
Nice.
I was all viewed as a tactical officer, so I wanted, if I ever got to do a flashback scene, all I knew is I wanted it to be a battle, a naval battle thing.
That's cool. It's
Yeah,
a nice
good.
contrast against the family sit-down dinner we just had. So
Yeah, and it's a nice contrast of, like, I made sort of a similar decision, and I'd probably be beating myself up over the first thing I came up with. First tactic I came up with was suicide. Like, the only thing we can do is blow up the entire ship. But then I was kind of proved right. Like, I started out with from the same premise, although I was less happy about it. And then the captain wanted me to try something else, so I tried something else. It didn't work, and I ended up having to do what I initially said we'd have to do. So I'm still kind of conflicted in character as to, is this just a natural evolution of last time I thought we had to take drastic measures, I was right, so I assumed we were this time, and, like, I didn't care because I was hardened, or with the reason that it came first to my mind last time, that I already had these lingering sociopath genes or whatever, and they just hadn't come out yet. Like, why? And with, like, this stupid thing with, where I was an idiot to the Earther guy and told him about our plan, or how we found him. Like, I knew I was pissed off at him for being arrogant, but, like, okay, clearly there's some lingering issues there because they killed my captain. So, like, oh, you're an Earther and you're a Gonjan traitor, so fuck you.
Yeah.
I just thought he was an arrogant bastard. It's like, you're an Earther, you're a Gonjan working for the Earthers, which means you're a traitor to Gonjan, which I hate, and you're an Earther, which I hate, and you're an arrogant bastard, which I hate. So, you really need to be, like, put in your place. Not that I would ever mention any of this, because I'm not a very effective character or very talkative about personal things, so it's not like I'm going to use this as an excuse of, this is why I was an idiot. Particularly my whole Ganja nature of mistakes are horrible. Like, I wouldn't try to justify it if I screwed up.
Okay.
But, anyway.
Nice.
Yeah,
Cool.
Alakov, I think you're getting some reverb or something for the rest of us talking sometimes. Maybe just try to mute it every once in a while when you're not talking.
Okay.
See if that helps. Okay, so we have Alex and John, and I think John wanted to be in the Alex sandwich. So John, you're next.
Okay, well, so LV-426, or Long Beer, or Chip, depending who you're talking to, had just got done breaking the reformed chip, throwing it on the ground, smashing it. Blue energy had coursed through his body as he was able to physically just crush that thing with his bare hands, which he shouldn't have been able to do. And then he collapsed. And then this is kind of what he dreams about when he kind of wakes up and he pictures himself as a small child, remembering that, his mother had died in childbirth, so it was just him and his father, and his father had worked for a... Oh, crap, I wrote it down, too. Well, for a company. We'll say it's the Turtle Company.
Okay.
As a cryogenics master, dealing with all the regrowth of artificial tissue and stuff like that. So he was well off, and he took care of his son. And, he kind of has that flashback of being a youth and them getting along and having a really great relationship to when he was 7. And his father had some, what he called take-home work, where he would plug himself into a sim, like a holographic chamber, and he would run programs through there. And I didn't, Longbeard would have known this as a child, but all Gungeon go through a test where they go through like a Kobayashi Maru test, where it's to see if it's to prove their solidarity, that there was no way that any human could have prevented all the deaths that happened on Earth Prime back in the day when all the nuclear reactors went off. Remember, that was when the AI was able to calculate and save a huge portion of the population. So they give this test, and this test is to prove to any, every Gungeon coming of age at the age of 10, and then they take it every 10 years after to prove that the AI is superior in every way and that no human could ever pass it. My father came out of the sim, and I kind of snuck into it and ran it. And as I did so, I managed to actually beat that scenario. And what we didn't know was that these tests that are sent out, they're really just to prove you take home, they're always locked. And which Longbeard didn't find out till a lot later. We cut to a scene maybe 3 weeks later where a bunch of I don't want to say robot. I was going to say Robotech. A bunch of robots, police bots, and military personnel show up at the house to arrest my father. So, I'm obviously 6 at this moment. My father's name, which I wrote down here, is Tao. So he's Long Tao. And I don't know if anyone wants to play him. It's going to be a thing where the police come in and take him away.
Sure.
Okay, Alex will play the father.
Okay, Alex. Yeah. So just imagine the door ringing, and they're not going to give you. Obviously, they won't give you any information or anything like that. But I guess I open the door, and there's like these huge robot military men who just kind of rush past me into the house.
Hello? What's the cause of this?
Well, I didn't even think about that. I guess I need robot speakers as well.
Hey, you want some robot speakers?
I'm so used to DMing where I would have just talked, and I'm like, wait, no, that's not my part. So could someone else play the main police officer? We'll call him PT689.
I can do that. I'll do that.
Okay. And this is just a quick scene where we have to jump to another one, but I need the starting point, so.
You are under violation, Long Tao.
What violation is this?
You violated the program. You will be taken in under custody. Resistance will not be tolerated.
Will information be provided?
Information will be provided upon assessment.
Where will this assessment take place?
It'll take place in the detention center. And then from there, he'll just grab you and just start pulling you. With cold, strong grip.
Nice.
Veer? That would be your first name, right? I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, Veer, yeah. I'm like, Dad, no, what's wrong? I didn't mean to go in there, Dad. I didn't mean to use the sim.
Didn't mean to go in where?
The holograph. I didn't know.
It's okay. It's okay. Just tell your mother what's happened.
Well, she's dead.
Oh.
We'll tell the grandmother. Yeah.
Tell grandmother what has happened. And I'm sure this will all get sorted out eventually.
Veer kind of collapses, crying as you're kind of pulled away from him, and then that scene ends there. Where we jump to the father never coming back. Veer would not have had any information as to where his dad was. He was just taken and gone. And then we jump ahead to when all of a sudden Veer has all his schooling is paid for. His grandmother takes care of him. And he's in school. He finds that now that he actually is old enough to take the test, when he takes the holographic test, he purposely fails it, knowing that there's something wrong with passing it. And as time goes on, he tends to just fake out in school. Whoops. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, just make sure. Sorry, hit the button. And then next scene would be him in school where he does just enough to finish all his schooling. He always does just enough just to pass, to stay kind of in the middle, in the median of all the children. And he has just passed in a test where, he just got pissed off and he just, just completely, got 100% on the test, which, people don't normally get 100% on their tests. And the teacher is yelling at him, about it and wanting to tell, going on about how he's going to be. You know what? I don't know if I want to do that scene.
Okay, you don't have to.
Yeah, no. Well, the back stuff I had, there really wasn't a lot of interaction. You guys had really cool interactions in them, so that would be just a quick. Because I had already, you already know about what happened to him when he was in my spaceship fight, and I didn't want to redo that one.
Okay, if you think there's nothing else, we can move on to another character. That's all.
Yeah, there's something else. So if we come back again, I'll jump. Like if we come back and do these again, I'll jump ahead even farther. Okay. But just the overall tone is that he caught on to how, first off, he finds out that he was able to beat an AI. He was able to do something at his tech level that you're not supposed to be able to do. And that he found out that his father was, he thinks his father was killed for. Because obviously his father would have said that he was the one who took the test, not his son, obviously.
Nice.
And that's where all his hate for the AI and that humans are better than, the sum of the parts.
Cool. All right. I think we just have Alex left.
Okay. Now, the year is 2388.
Yeah. And the campaign starts in, I think, 2391. So.
Yeah. Bryce has been hired as a mercenary by the cartel to gather information on the terraforming project on Venus. And basically the plan is, and it's a little nuts because Neath is also around Venus, and that's a really large space dock, so there would normally be lots of security there. But they're choosing this time to gather the information from the research station that's in low orbit above Venus, because the Battle of Phobos is going on. So they figure that resources will be allocated there. So what they've had Bryce do is kind of spoof their sensors, and he's going to be helping hack the databases and get everything into this, I guess, like a black box they're carrying over. So basically I'm going to need a bunch of cartel crewmates, probably 3, for the away mission, and there's also Mabel, Queen Mab, Nestor, who is the captain of this ship, who will be sort of a short distance away from the research station, and we'd just been sent over in a small boarding craft.
To give you guys some background, the cartel is sort of this maverick information gathering, like network of spies. They sell the information to the highest bidder. Their leader is known as the Gambler, and he's very secretive. No one claims to have seen him. He sort of like, stays back in the background in the shadows. They've done things in the past. They're known for like tapping into data networks that they should never have been able to get into. They pretty much rule Europa. That's just some background on the cartel.
Nice.
Yeah. And this terraforming project is involving like huge hunks of ice being hurled into the planet and gases imported from other places being pumped in. It's still deadly as anything down on Venus. And right now, the area below where the research station is orbiting, we could sort of see some volcanism going nuts as we were entering.
Also, Z Labs is the name of the company that owns the shipyards, the space station. So, okay.
So I figure we kick it off just as we managed to. Well, we're about to coast into an area that we can dock, and our pilot has been trying to keep our heat signature down, at least more or less, but it doesn't matter that much because I've been trying to keep their sensors under control. I just need to generate roles that you guys can play, which is difficult. So if anyone has awesome ideas for cartel maverick names, they can just sort of go nuts and we can flesh this out.
I don't know. I was one of them, since they were spy information gathering type dudes, I was kind of thinking mine, because I would be one of the away team unless everyone else wanted to be one of those, would be kind of an Ian Fleming-esque guy, except with maybe some actual combat training. So it looks like a fop or a playboy, but has crazy ideas that actually work and actually has some ability to fight, which is a help because no one thinks he will. So
cool. We need at least one of us to be the leader of the away party, and it wouldn't be Signet because he's a hire.
All right. Well, since my guy kind of has ideas, he could be, or unless somebody else has a better idea for a leader character, he could just be along for combat support, or he could be along to actually run things in a sort of crazy gonzo way.
I can throw out some names if you guys want, just some random Maverick names. Like Pips, Hotfoot, Brutus, Pepper, Rake, Jetsam,
excellent.
Flush. Yeah, just some names.
I'll take Pips.
Pips.
That sounds like a sort of popish British name.
There's Crooner, Flameout, Hotwire. So yeah, pick your names.
Is the pilot part of the crew?
So the pilot of the away
hacker or just
vessel is, yeah. Pardon?
Oh, I was trying to figure out if the pilot, is he like a combo pilot, hacker, helper? He's going to go in, or is he just going to stay on the ship?
With us. We're just going to dock and then. All
right, I'll play the pilot, and his name's going to be Rocket.
Anybody else?
I guess my guy, would be called Blitz. Do we have a captain-esque or like a leader of the away team thing already established?
I can take it if no one else does, because it makes kind of sense since this character does have ideas, but he also could be viewed as you're too crazy, we need a more rational leader. His ways generally work, but I could also see somebody going we don't want you in trouble.
I could picture that as being the captain, as well as being the leader of this mission. I guess the idea for this guy is that he's since they're dealing information, this guy is he's got very obvious cybernetics on him. He's got a visor over his eyes, and it clearly replaces his eyes, and it's just almost like from TNG with
Forge.
The Forge's character thing going on, with a little bit of Ghost in the Shell mixed in, because it looks like a helmet-esque setup. A lot of tech gear. It looks like I'm picturing this guy to be like a hacker of sorts. He gets in, he gets that information, he collects all the stuff, but more like a Spec Ops style fashion kind of thing, as I would imagine. Yeah.
Very cool. I haven't entirely figured out how this is going to work. So if at any time, Tim, you want to interject and fill in background details as to how this research station might look, what might be going on. I can obviously fill those in too, but
well, the space station looks like. Let's see here. It's vertical. It has sharp spikes that travel up high and both low. Towards the center of it, there's cylindrical rings of various sizes, some smaller, some larger. There are 6 jutting arms that radiate out from the center ring of the station, with long, cylindrical, jutting arms that have the various docks on them. That's where all the ships dock. So there's space between these jutting arms. There's various lights that are flashing red and yellow and white. And you see the hazy atmosphere of Venus below, churning with various oranges and peach and even red.
Are there a lot of ships docked?
There are a good many ships docked, probably 6.
Do you think you can find us a calm enough spot?
No problem. I can block us in anyway. Hell, I can go up to that window over there and cut our way in if we have to. Okay.
We perhaps we end up actually doing that. I don't know. What is the first officer here think? I've totally forgotten everyone's names, so this is the question.
wait. So Blitz is in charge, right? And then Pip is the first officer?
All right. Okay, well.
I'm just guessing.
If Blitz is in charge, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first step.
Is that our point of entry, Blitz?
He'll glance up. He'll be in like this his head down position with his elbows on his knees, looking down. He'll glance up, and his lips are kind of almost pale blue, and they'll have a wicked smile wipe across them. He'll say, "Oh yeah, that'll be our point of entry, all right. Take her in."
Yeah, you got it, Blitz.
Woo! Nice and easy, and keep it quiet.
Right. Sorry, Blitz. You know how I get excited when I do this. This shit kind of jolts and bangs, and then looks like we're docked.
So is there like this seal over the window now, and now we have to cut through it?
No, I was joking.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I should have.
I was so excited about it. Contact.
That's how good I am. I can just go to any window and just.
I figured we'd have like a hose for that.
No, we probably could, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, he was trying to be. Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Just blabbered.
All right. So, I guess the rear door of the shuttle sort of quietly hisses open, and we can see this like unnervingly brightly lit hallway that we're inside now, and we can sort of hear the beeping of the computers in the distance, but thankfully there's no one within line of sight so far.
Right. I go out ahead since I'm the combat dude, and I am in a bowler hat and lime green or bright green suit with carrying a walking stick, which also has a sword in it, and just sort of crouched in stealth walk. Of course, very brightly lit up by having bright green everything on, basically looking like a leprechaun, and but sneak ahead and and if there are cameras, I will notice them and either hide or just pull out little throwing knife type things and stab them, depending on where they're situated. But you have this very incongruous thing of like, I look like an idiot trying to like exaggeratedly doing like exaggerated stealth motions. Because I'll like when I put myself up against a wall, I'll do it in this sort of exaggerated, cartoonish fashion. But I actually manage to avoid things. Like it actually works. And when I have to throw knives, like I'm very good at it. It's this over-the-top, flashy move of yes, I could put a knife through the camera lens, but I actually succeed at it.
You've just been watching all sorts of old-fashioned, like, Earth documentaries of spy action and learn from them, maybe.
Well, yeah, like I said, I've kind of basing him on Ian Fleming, who, when he was hired for the intelligence service, was like, oh, I've been doing reading. What? Buchan, Kipling, like, all these, like, do you actually read anything, like, actual manuals of how to do this? No, I just read lots of spy fiction. And it actually worked. So I do that until something changes.
I've been trying to keep as much of their network tapped as I can, but I can't be sure that, well, there are obviously parts that are closed off. We're going to have to be careful of stuff like cameras.
That's okay. Pip's got it down and cover. Isn't that right, Pip?
Oh, yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Let us know when the coast is clear, and then we'll move in.
Yeah, well, when I get to the end of a hall, I've cleared it. And you can come after me.
Ship call said, Blitz.
All right.
All ready to lock down.
Everyone, move out. And he'll get into a crouch position and kind of just almost slither his way on by.
We make it a couple of halls down, but midway through one of the halls, we notice that there's a scientist on a terminal, and that can be played by Rozier.
All right.
Which, I mean, you might just die really quickly. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you play this one.
Yeah.
Here, paint this target on your face. Okay, good.
Yeah. Do I notice you guys, or am I just hard at work?
I don't know. How is if Pip is taking point?
Yeah, I would come back.
Do you think that he'd manage to evade this scientist, or does something go wrong?
Well, I would say probably is fairly good at evading it, but he might not be like, I'm going to just murder this random dude. Because, again, he has this, like, sort of cartoonish James Bond style of spy in his head, so it's like, he's the opposite of the captain who would be like, this is the practical thing, you are going to die. So he'll sneak up, find the guy, sneak back, and ask the leader guy, like, what do I do with this dude? There is a scientist working up there. We can try to avoid him, and just hope that he doesn't notice, or I can go and take him out. But I wanted to ask your permission first.
Blitz will walk up to you, and he'll take a little vial out. It looks like a bit of a syringe. He'll put it in your hand, and he'll say, just knock him out with this, and we'll take him back to the ship. Extra information. And a wicked smile will go across his face when he says that. And then he'll kind of just fold up, and his cloak will just wrap around him as he'll kind of go into a crouching position.
Okay.
Oh, shit, Blitz. Shit, man. Couldn't I use this? And I start tossing a grenade in my hand. I can huck it down, then no problem.
Calm it down, Rocket. We ain't here to make noise. We're here to keep it quiet.
All right, but you'll be asking me in about 10 minutes to start hucking grenades. I know it.
The scientist is able to hear the conversation with his, he's only half focused on what he's doing. He's browsing a data net.
Yeah, he has well hidden cyber ears that have extra hearing that we didn't notice.
There we go.
Well, I'm actually getting married tomorrow, so I'm really looking for... What's that? Oh, did you hear that? Wait, I think there's somebody here. I gotta check it. I'll be right back.
Okay. And I start sneaking back, and then I notice that you're coming about our way, and I flatten myself against the wall
Is anyone there?
around the corner. And as you're calling from around the corner, I whack you in the stomach with my sword cane, and then with the cane part of it, then draw the sword, stick it in your throat. In this very example, on one knee with the sword up at your throat, like.
Oh yeah.
What? Who are you?
No, it doesn't matter. What matters is I have a sword at your throat, and if you don't keep quiet, it will be going through it. So.
Wait. No, please, don't hurt me. I'm supposed to get married tomorrow.
No, we don't want to hurt you. We want to take you alive if we can, but and you won't be harmed unless you give us reason to.
No, please. There's nothing here.
Yeah, well, we already know that's a lie, but so I won't hold it against you. But and I get up from my silly kneeling position, grab you by like the arm, and still keeping the sword at your throat, and like pull you back to where the rest of the party is.
Wait, please. I've got nothing. I just work here.
Blitz will walk up and grab you by the face, and then start moving your head around to see if there's any cybernetic attachments.
Well, we've established he has ears that are cyber, but they are well hidden, so.
Looks like he's got no data ports accessible. Looks like we'll just have to get the information out of him, and he'll just turn his head as he faces this almost emotionless face. Looks like we'll have to get it out of you the old-fashioned way. All right, put him under, Pip. We'll take him back to the ship.
All right, I stab him with the needle thing. And he dragged you back, I guess. Or do we
Hello? Hello?
Sure.
Is everyone all right? What's going on over there? What's going on?
Oh, shit. I hadn't seen this network on my scans. It must be, like, an intranet of them. Like, a closed data net.
Yeah.
All right.
Call the authorities. I'm calling the authorities.
I grab.
Hold this hall and crack that terminal. I might be able to get the data I need. I don't know if I'll be able to get the data we need.
Okay.
We need to get in and get out before they notice the ship.
Yeah. I grab the, if I can find it, the like little walkie-talkie or whatever that the dude is calling through, and I try to do a impersonation of the doctor's voice. Like, everything's fine. I just had some, I thought I heard something, and I saw some sparks going off somewhere that weren't supposed to be. But it's fine. I fixed it now.
There's a terminal in the hall that the scientist was working on, and Signet is just sort of scrambling over there to see if he can crack open the casing on it, so he can slot in the physical data jack at the back of his head.
Blitz will walk over and you'll see his arm kind of start splitting open. He'll start grabbing wires out of it and start jacking it into one of the side panels and say, "All right, I'll try to keep this network scrambled while you search for the information. But I'm going to be jacked in and vulnerable."
He's got like a T splitter cable that has him hooked up to the network through his Neuralink, but also hooks up to this black box that he's carried over. And they just start downloading the information, but you can start to sense that there might be people scrambling in halls further down. Now that he's able to crack into the internal network, he is starting to gain access to cameras all over the place and trying not to be too distracted by them while he make sure he can steal the information they need, but also trying to make sure they don't bust in on them and start killing them. And they get to about, 53.9% of the information they wanted when there is a security squad coming through the far door of the hall, the one furthest from the T-junction that they had entered in.
With a laugh,
we've got
Ken tosses one of the grenades down there. And then just covers his head.
All right. I kind of want Tim to make the call as to whether that ruptures the side of the hallway and opens us to vacuum.
So there's a huge explosion, a blast of energy just kind of washes over everyone. There's a scream, which you think is coming from Rocket himself. But no, it doesn't blow up and doesn't get through the blaster shields that are out there. It does knock out the door, which kind of is now off-centered and kiltered, so they can't just plow through it anymore.
Yes, the hall is still intact, but barely.
Yeah, pretty much intact, yeah. But the door itself has been damaged and dented.
All right.
I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy, man.
Fair enough.
I called over to Signet. Any turrets you could pull up from the floor or something? Because I have no guns.
This isn't equipped that way, which was, good for us to begin, but
yes. Well,
I think we just need to. I have half of the info. Is
that
that enough?
How to build a space station right? Why wouldn't you put turrets in the floor?
Well, they're mostly focused on defense from the outside, and thankfully they didn't see us from that. And they have the whole shipyard to, prevent us from slipping through. We're just lucky that we got the timing right.
Right, but it's the principle thing. Why wouldn't you put turrets in the floor? That's just a wasted opportunity.
Bryce and Blitz get strange symbols that start to flare and flash in their minds.
What the hell's this?
Oh shit, Bryce is saying weird shit.
They're counter-cracking us. We need to get off. Bryce just rips the cable out of his head.
There's some file that seems to these symbols are coming from that you've downloaded that when you close everything else, it doesn't close. And these strange, glowing blue symbols are just in your minds.
What is this? Is this some sort of virus?
I don't know. Let's just get back to the ship. He hefts the black box and says, "Is that all right?"
He grabs you by the shoulder. Did we get it all?
No, we did not get it all. We do not have time to get it all.
Flash.
I throw at the control console thing. Just okay, we don't have time for it. Well, then it needs to die.
Flash.
Damn it! I guess half is better than nothing. All right, Blitz. When we get out of here, let's leave him a little parting gift, shall we? Rocket.
I'm like, you're talking to yourself. Pretty awesome. I thought that we had two halves of you.
Whoops.
You got it, boss. But I set some timers and dropped some grenades down there. Oh, and I got another surprise when we pull away.
Looking forward to it. Oh.
The word of the surprise, provides a bit of extra confidence, or would if, there weren't this barrage of unrecognizable symbols being cast into our minds. We continue booking it down the hallway, and there are windows on the sides that we can see other corridors through, and detect that things are going on full alert at this point.
Yeah, the symbols stop flashing in your minds.
Well, that's helpful. But that's only a moment of reassurance, because as we get on the ship and start heading away towards the Greycoat, which is the vessel that we had come from, we look up and see that there are these just little, like, dazzling shards floating towards it. And you see, like, a ripple of them impacting the shields, and then something moves much, much faster than you could even see. And there are shards being cast off of it on the other side, as something tore through the ship in multiple places, opening it to vacuum. And as a surreal touch, Swan Lake from Tchaikovsky starts playing in Bryce's head, as just this glimmer of debris is being recollected, as coming from the gray coat. And he wakes up in a cold sweat.
Yeah, as we blast away from the ship, the planet, I just turn around and call back to them. You dishonorable bastards! Just like, you completely...
Right, yeah, the cartel calling them dishonorable bastards.
Yes. Which is completely, not even an honor thing, it's just like, from his perspective, it's like, you ruined my scene! You're supposed to be cool and get away. Like,
well, I mean, they might not have actually been able to detect our small away vessel. And, probably didn't, given that Bryce, is alive in 2391.
There's no way they caught our vessel. Man, I got this thing jacked up and spinning. Ain't no one touching us.
Exactly. We had you. But we did end up seeing the majority of the crew just sort of jettisoned into space with a bunch of debris. So, yeah.
Better them than us.
I guess that's a maverick way of looking at it.
Nice.
Or a Gonjan way if you're me. Apparently, because my Gonjan character, my Maverick character, or at least that one, is far more caring about the death of the crew than my Gonjan character seems to be.
Okay, so I think that's everybody. So yeah, what'd you guys think of that? Was that fun?
Yeah, I loved I liked my mechanic character, and I liked the father is kind of fun to play, particularly now that I found him, and I really liked the last guy. He would be fun to bring. I think if my current character dies somehow and can't be cloned, or I need a new one, I will try to bring in that guy because he's fun. He's really silly, but he's fun.
Anybody else I know?
After I played this current character who's had very serious psychological issues of am I becoming a sociopath? Have I always been a sociopath? Questioning his beliefs and whatnot. Once I'm done with him, I'll probably want more of just crazy guy who thinks he's living in a spy movie.
Let's see here. How about Rohir? You were kind of pulled the rug out from under you when we first started today. So, what'd you think of it?
Yeah, it was fun, but I seem to I think we're all quite polite, and when I noticed that when we were looking for somebody to play a character, everybody's like, "Oh, I don't want to step on someone's toes or something," or at least
yeah,
that's what I feel like. Oh well, I don't want to be the one to hog that character, or yeah, me. So
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of leaning back, as in well, I don't want to be the first to say that I want to play that character, So that kind of created some fun moments, but yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to work on for myself, to be when to say yeah me, or when not to. Yeah,
because every time someone asked, I expected everyone to go me. So
yeah,
I was waiting. I'm like, okay, well, someone else, it sounds like a cool guy. Wait a second. And I'm like, all right.
Exactly, and the thing is that you don't want to, step on somebody's toes and always be the first one. So you think I'll wait, but then nobody says something, and you're just
and then it gets too long, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, it gets awkward. Yeah.
Well, I kind of had it set up so you guys would designate who the NPC was, but I saw you guys were doing it that way, so I sort of just let it go. But
yeah.
Maybe next time we'll work on that.
Well, the other thing is I didn't want to put something on someone that they didn't want to play
that's
either. Not in my case, because I was totally lost in mine, but in other people's, I could see that happening,
Yeah.
True.
So,
Yeah, and I'm glad I was able to do it that way because I was, or at least for all of the characters that I chose, the father was kind of thrust because it was the last one available, although I managed to work with it. But the others I picked, I was able to go like, oh, I want this guy because I have a personality for him. So I know how to actually run him.
That's cool. I think as experiment goes, I think it went pretty well.
Yeah.
So neat.
I found it easier the more we did it, too. Like, I was totally not used to doing that at all. Like, I don't know about you guys. Like, I don't really get to play often. I'm always GMing. So it's one thing just to create, but then it's part of me doesn't want to step over someone else's creation. So it's hard for me to want to just give. I want to collaborate, but I don't want to step on.
I see.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing I was dealing with because at first when I went first I was like, okay, I'm used to planning things out when I make up stuff like this, and this is completely on the fly, so it's like completely improv, and then all of a sudden I'm collaborating with everyone else, and then when it comes time for me to participate in someone else's collaboration, it's whether I have to make that split-second decision. Do I want to volunteer first, or do I want to... It kind of had to take a leap sometimes. I thoroughly enjoyed all the characters that I had played. I've had a lot of fun with that, and I really enjoyed it all around. It was really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas I think I was actually other than my scene, which I did pretty well with, but the other ones where I played, like that's how I GM anyway. I come up with a crazy NPC and I let people react to him, and then I do crazy things and I let them react to that. So this whole thing of like crazy James Bond wannabe dude, crazy Maverick mechanic dude, like those were NPCs that would generate an entire session of play if they were in, or center around an entire session of play if I were running this game. It would just be a whole string of this crazy dude shows up, deal with him. This crazy dude shows up, deal with him.
The awkwardness a little bit you guys are talking about is some of the stuff that I've dealt with some story games that are more cooperative. Like it's kind of, you have to like change gears sometimes. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this campaign a little bit, is just trying to get out of my comfort zone. So I guess I just made you all awkward too.
Well, that's good though. And I mean, it's awesome practice. I mean, really, if you think about it, for anyone, whether you're a player or a GM, you're creating on the spot, and your cooperative creation is awesome. I think for gaming.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I felt lost, to be honest, in mine only because you had already known the reasons why. And then there's like 24 years where I'm locked in prison. I didn't do anything during that time. It's like, oh.
I mean, that's what I was trying to say is like, it doesn't have to be anything like really like crazy, like important for your character. It could have just been like, okay, you're in jail and you're talking to the janitor and, I don't know, one of the cellmates with you or something, It doesn't, just because that'd be kind of fun, maybe it's a memory that you're thinking of at the time.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I did with my character, because he had made the suggestion the last session to do that technique to destroy the other vessel, and even though it was the captain's sort of orders in a way, he brought that suggestion forward, and he kind of he kind of wanted it that way, and so now he's kind of set back reflecting on how he's done that. That's kind of the moment I wanted to play on, but I also. I really enjoy playing the captain characters, now that I think about it, because I think it's real easy for me to pretend to be the authoritarian guy sometimes, like with the older brother. Like, I know, I've dealt with assholes in real life, and so I'm like, yeah, I know exactly how to do this. This is easy.
I hope I didn't go overboard on the asshole with that guy. I didn't really know what you wanted.
Oh, no, I liked it. I thought that was great. I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for.
But all of you seem to have, with the exception of maybe John, seem to have including me, seem to have a type that we always play. Like, I always come up with some crazy off-the-wall, larger-than-life caricature dude, and Bill tended to play kind of the authoritarian. Other Alex seemed to like being kind of the asshole, which was good because you were good at it.
Oh, I'm so glad.
It's a gift.
Man, I'm telling you, that Lars character, I want him to come back at some point.
Yes, Lars. Look, that's the way I set it up too. I wanted it that way.
Yeah, like I said, all of them have threads that now, like characters that can come back or something that can tie it into the future sessions. And all of my characters that I played were fun, so I'm looking forward to playing them again. But I definitely think if they do, any of the characters from these do show up, they should be played by the person that played them before.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fun. Yeah. Play some NPCs.
I really enjoyed playing the captain of the Takakaze, but only because it's like it's Gongan culture, so there's a lot of honor thrown in, and I kept going into my Star Trek vibe of the Klingons, so I kept picturing this guy as like a Klingon commander, like we go down with the battleship. That's what we do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and in that first interaction we had, like I didn't, like there was a lot I wanted to do with it, but then I'm like, but then this is Alex's story too, so I didn't want to. I don't know. I kind of made it a lot simpler than I had originally thought when I was going to do the Earther captain. You know, because you could have drawn that in a long time.
I was kind
I'm
of
like, yeah, but I want him to have this spotlight. I want to get in there, you know, find out where he's coming from.
Well, that's good though. That's
Actually,
kind of what we're doing, you know.
I was expecting you to do more with him because, and I was kind of hoping you would because I was thinking this would be the genesis of my prejudice against Earthers.
So I
like,
should have. I mean, I actually wrote down the Armada. I know how many ships there were, what they were. Like, there's 2 frigates, 4 cruisers, 8 PT, there's 20 fighters, with an aircraft base. I'm like, I had this all. I was like, wow, what am I doing? Why am I? I'm creating this huge battle in my head, and I'm like, this isn't even in my scene. So I stopped. I got to stop writing.
My spotlight was that it was a huge battle, so it could have worked.
It was good. It was awesome. And you guys did a good job.
Cool. All right. With that, we're going to go back to real time. And I want to ask 2 questions, I guess, here. So, John, is Longveer still in the med bay curled up in a ball? Is that correct?
I kind of feel that the Dr. Ply would have picked me up maybe and helped me into the gurney. Like, I would have kind of fallen asleep there. But, yeah, definitely passed out sleeping there.
So maybe like the gurney, like med bed, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the capsule med bay things.
Okay.
Yeah,
and Rohir, you said that your doctor fell asleep doing all of his tests. You're probably like drooling on your arm at your station.
Yeah.
Okay. And the 3D printing machine is actually in the med lab. So I'm going to have you both roll me perception, which is wits plus composure. Just before you guys start, though, just tell me how many dice you have, because I'm going to give it a penalty since you're sleeping.
Let me see.
So wits plus composure.
I'll be honest, I don't think I would even wake up to it.
You don't want to do a roll? Okay.
Well, I mean, I passed out because of physical exhaustion, all the operation, everything that just happened, mental drain. I'm just, I almost feel like, I used all my Kaizen powers to break that thing. So,
okay,
yeah.
So it'll be on 1 roll, and that'll be on Rohir.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I'm here to help, Doctor.
Yeah. I've got 5 dice in total. So I've got a wits of 3 and a composure of 2.
I'm going to give you a 2 dice penalty from sleeping, so roll
2 dice. Let's make it easy. All right, so here we go. 2, 3, and 8.
Okay, so you got 1 success then. Okay. You hear, you're at in a deep sleep, and you haven't even opened your eyes yet, but you hear the sound of the 3D printer doing something, and you also get the sensation of something being close to you, like I don't know, the air like right beside your face. It's not open like it should be. There's something standing or something right there.
Oh shit!
When I start to notice this, I roll off my chair and grab the gun that is kind of hanging from my chair. I kind of try to point it at the direction where it's where something is pointing, standing.
Okay, then I'm gonna need you to roll initiative then. Roll me D10 plus Dex and Composure. I'll do this.
Let's see.
So 1d10 is just a number plus a number equal to your dex plus a number equal to your composure.
I got a 9, and that adds 4 because my dex is 2 and my composure is 2.
Okay, then you are faster. The hand of Genu or Grunt smashes down where your head was into the all of your test tubes and things that you have set up and notebooks where you're taking notes or data pads. Comes crashing down to the ground. And at this point, Longveer can make me a roll. I won't give you a penalty though. So, wits plus composure to see if you wake up.
Okay, so
it's the sound of clattering metal and glass shattering and landing onto the floor, the table breaking in half and just dumping all of its contents everywhere.
And I got 3 successes.
Okay, so you definitely wake up. You see the arm that has come all the way down and through, and the mess. You see the doc, who looks like he's getting ready to do something. So why don't you go ahead and roll me initiative too? I think 14 for here. That is D10 plus Dex and Composure. So it's like a number. So if your Dex is 2, that'd be like a +2.
Oh, Dex plus Composure. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, actually, I got that under. Yeah. So 5.
See who goes quicker here.
6 and 5 is 11.
11. Okay. So here's what's happening. So row here. This is what happens. You were able to move out of the way. You rolled up. You said you pulled a weapon. Is that correct?
Yeah, my gun.
Okay. So that's what you reacted to. So when you hear this noise, Longveer, what do you do? You're next.
Okay, so you wake up.
There's
Doc, and oh shit.
It seems like Genu's face is pointed right at the doctor.
I kind of just bounce off the gurney and leap onto the back of the the robot, trying to just kind of hold it down.
Okay.
Distracted. I don't know. Just
okay. So you leap onto its back. So why don't you give me? I think it's Dex plus Brawl. Just give me a roll to see how well you do it.
I have grappling. Does that add?
That makes perfect sense. Extra dice.
3 successes.
Your leap is good. You wrap your arms around it. You're clutching onto it, trying to distract it. So it's trying to, it looks confused. It's focusing on the dock, and as in typical Grunt fashion, it looks like whoever told it to do something didn't tell it how to react to these two things. So it reaches up its arm and smashes the table again, knocking everything off of it that was still there. Another leg shatters, which doesn't seem like that's not a great thing to do. You look over and you see Jylen Wraith, who is still unconscious. He's still flayed open. All of his life signs are fine, but in the 3D printing machine, you see another Jylen Wraith that's almost complete.
Grunt, stop.
Is there anything else you want to do in addition to saying that it is your turn?
I'll say, Grunt, stop. And I'll say, Pod, alert all crew to the medbay, now.
Pawn doesn't respond. Okay, so now it's down to Longveer, who you're on Genu's back. He's smashing the hell out of this table.
I guess I'll I scream stop, desist, end program, stop, and then I'm just gonna try to grab its head and just kind of twist it off. I don't.
Nice. Is there any special thing you want to do, or do you just?
Yeah, no. That's innate. It's on.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, my body kind of actually it doesn't from that. Yeah. I just grab it, and with all my might, just yank onto it. Yeah.
Why don't you roll like strength plus I guess brawling would be good.
9 dice.
Oh gosh.
Let's see here. You're gonna. Did you roll them yet?
I just started. Yeah, what do you need?
Okay. I'm thinking of a penalty. Probably like a defense. We're just gonna say you have a 2 dice penalty.
Okay.
So, he's tough.
7 dice.
That's average, and with Grunt being a moron, he probably has a below average defense, so it's fine.
10 is
How do I defend myself from the person that went left instead of right, because I am stupid?
What's that, John?
a 10 is a reroll.
10. Yeah, 10 again. Mm-hmm.
10 explodes. Okay.
Yeah.
So 4 successes.
Okay, nice. So you don't rip the head off, but you hear snaps and pops. Some like liquid sprays out and lands on your arm. Looks like it's oil or something. You hear like grinding gears of, they're not just a little bit out of alignment. So it looks like you've done something to it. Okay, over the intercom, you hear Jylen's voice say, "Destroy all crew." And it's sort of, it's in some places it's slower, so it's like a chorus of Jylen Wraith voices all over the ship. So everyone can give me a perception check. Everyone else, same penalty, 2 dice penalty, and that's wits plus composure to wake up. As the chorus of Jylen Wraith's voice fills the silence of the ship. Dice.
Actually, I couldn't have been surprised by all this.
Oh,
if I understand my Kaizen power correctly.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we can go back then a little bit.
Bryce fails.
Doesn't really matter. I wasn't surprised, so.
That's true. So Bryce is still sleeping soundly.
Yep, 1 success for me, so I wake up, I assume.
Yeah, you probably hear, "Oi, all crew."
What?
I got 3 successes. The third one was a 10. I rolled that, and it was an 8, so that makes the 4th success.
Okay, so you hear everything. Destroy all crew.
I'm not even if they're, like, at this point I don't even know if it's real or if that was a dream, so I'm just going to wait here a few seconds.
Okay. The captain pulls a pillow over his head.
I'm trying to go back to sleep. I'm just like, I get up and make sure I stay awake, but I'm awake because I am paranoid. But I'm not so paranoid as to wake up everyone for my bad dream.
Okay.
As I get up, I'll start scrambling to my feet, and I'll look up and I'll say, Pon, what's going on?
Pon doesn't answer.
I head to the intercom. Captain!
Everyone just, what? What's going on?
Don't you hear that?
I heard what sounded like Jylen Wraith saying something about destroying people.
Because he is. It's on the intercoms. It's everywhere. And Pon is not responding.
Let's pause that conversation for a second. So back in the med lab, Robot tries to hurl the body of Longbeer against a wall. What is your defense for Longbeer?
My defense is a 2.
2.
Right, that's the lowest of dexterity.
Yeah, so drop 2 dice. Ooh. And I rolled no successes with 7 dice.
Wow.
So
My
Gino
lucky day.
tries to grab hold of you, and maybe he gets the top of your shoulder, and as he clenches, your shoulder sort of squeezes out of his grip. And the other one, he tries to grab your leg, and he tears a bit of clothing as he tries to hurl you against the wall. And yeah, his attempt fails utterly. So it's back to the dock.
All right, I kind of stand there and see this robot who is being dealt with Chip, and So I kind of look at the printing machine, and adrenaline is starting to going through my body, and I pretty much grab something that I estimate to be heavy enough with my robot arm, and I kind of whirl it at the printing machine to hit the off button, and
Nice.
I'll kind of do my Kaizen power as in a well-timed strike.
Okay.
So I'll get an extra, like, I'm really focused all of a sudden, more focused than Colt has ever been before in combat.
Okay. So what do you grab in your hand?
I don't know, something that I estimate, if need be, even my gun, to hit the off button to be able to. Oh no, even better, I throw my hand.
Ah, your detachable hand. Okay.
Yeah, I like fling it, and my hand just goes, and it turns off the machine.
So why don't you give me like a Dex plus, firearms? I guess that kind of makes sense. Firearm, right? That's fine. Dex plus firearms. Go ahead and roll that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Dexterity will be 2.
And your Kaizen power gives you something for that.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's
It's like an extra dice or something.
3. It gives me an extra dice, and then I have, of course, my robotic arm, which also gives me 2 dice extra. So
You're very good at hurling.
Can I use
hands.
my Gungeon power to boost him?
Sure. Yeah.
All
So what does that do? I think that gives him an extra dice as well, right?
Yeah, it's like it's whatever. There's something about your willpower you can do for extra dice. I don't know
Oh,
the
okay.
rules that well. I just read it under my Gungeon description.
Yeah, I
That's
think if you burn
that's
a
our
point of
teamwork
willpower,
thing.
yeah, if you burn a point of willpower, I think it's like 3 extra dice.
Yeah, I'll burn a willpower for him.
seriously,
You got it, Doc.
Well,
Yeah.
I already have like what is it?
I don't know that though.
8 dice. All right. So how many dice do I get extra?
3 from him, I think.
Damn.
You've heard like super machine turn off person.
Yeah. There we go. 10 again, right? So that's 1, 2, 3 tenths. And a 9 and an 8. So the 3 tenths, so that's already
5 successes.
5 successes, and I get to roll 3 again. And that's 7 successes.
Oh, God.
That is a lot of successes. Okay, so you hurl your hand. It smashes into the exact right point with your finger.
Beep!
The cloning machine stops, except you see that whatever's inside is breathing now.
Oh, fuck. Then I'll hurry over there.
All right, well that'll have to be next turn. Okay, so then it goes to Longveer. So you see the hand, the 3D machine is turned off, and you have Gino, the bot, that was just told to destroy all crew.
Yeah, I actually kind of smiled to myself at how accurate the doctor was, and then just continue twisting and cranking this head, trying to break it off. Hoping that'll do it.
Okay, so figure out strength plus brawl again, and 2 dice penalty.
Two and 7. 8, 9. 3 successes on that one.
Okay, this time the head, you probably have it about, if it's looking straight, and the first time you got it to like a 45-degree angle, this is a 90. You hear snaps and hisses. Some of the lights have gone out on the side of its face, but it looks like it's still active.
I'm like, please, break, please, break.
It reaches up one of its hands that spin, and there's 4 or 5 different tools on the end of it that jam right into your face. At least it's attempting to do that. Said your dex is 2, or your defense is 2.
Yeah, defense 2.
All right. Looks like only 2 successes. So You have 2 health damage coming your way as various sharp implements tear and slice your cheek and the half of your nose. Just it sort of digs into it.
Ouch.
Destroy all crew. Okay, so back in the conversation between Theo and the captain.
Oh, what the hell? How do we even find where this guy is if we can't use pawn? Can you figure that out so we can kill this asshole?
I'll try to get on the sensors and see if they're functioning, and then from there I'll try to pinpoint what's going on. He might have control over the systems.
All right, and as I go to like my safe where I keep my weapons and I suit up.
I'll begin going toward the panel and I'll start typing in and seeing what's going on.
How about you give me like a intelligence plus computer roll to even be able to use it?
Gotcha.
Looks like there's some shenanigans going on with the systems.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Goes to the machine, Earther asshole. I told you we should kill. That was my immediate reaction was, I told you we should have killed him.
Okay, that's 1 success, but it's a 10, so it's an exploding roll. And that results in a 6, so I got 1 success out of that.
Okay, that's enough to get into the system. It seems like Pawn has been shut down. You can't even find any way to access her at this point. You do get into the system. What were you attempting to do?
I was trying to use the internal sensors to try to locate where everyone is. I'm under the suspicion, or the assumption at the moment, that Jylan is, in fact, up and about walking around. And I'm assuming that he has taken over several systems from a console somewhere. Okay,
you find Jylan's body is still in the med lab, vivisected, but still alive. You see that Longveer and the doctor are in some sort of combat with Genu in the med lab, and it's very chaotic, and there's all kinds of debris and shattered things all over the floor.
Blood.
You see that the robot's head is about ready to come off, maybe. You see that Jylan Wraith is in the cockpit. And then you kind of double take. Wait a minute. He's on the table. And then you see another Jylan Wraith in the cloning machine. You see that the captain is in his quarters. You see that Bryce is in... you said it was some sort of cage, right, Alex?
Yeah, it's basically like a very slightly translucent metal covering over his bed, which I guess makes it look a little like a glass coffin you can't see through, but is, less morbid than that, just high tech.
So that's what the sensors tell you. Yeah. I believe that's everyone.
Oh, he's in the cockpit as well?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You see the Zixon is standing up beside him, not doing anything.
I'll immediately get on the intercom. Captain, we got problems. We got a lot of problems.
Okay, it's one dude. Did he get his stealth suit again? What's going on?
There's not one. There's many of him.
The Jylan Wraith in the cockpit is also wearing a suit.
Like his stealth suit or a pilot suit or something?
You're pretty sure that when you look at the sensors, that suit that Longveer was working on is in the med lab. So the Jylan Wraith on the cockpit is also wearing another suit.
I think this is a stretch here, but I don't think it's too hard to assume, but I think the cloning machine made several copies of him, and one of them's walking around.
And trying to kill us. Yeah, problem. With Pawn, if Pawn were around, I would say vent the oxygen in the areas he's in, but she isn't, so how do we kill him?
We'll need to split up for this. We'll need to get Pawn up first. That's our first priority.
Yes,
wait. Our crew members are under attack. We need to get them out first.
Okay, where are they being attacked?
That's in the med bay.
Okay, I'm going there now. They start running that way.
Just watch out. Gina was down there.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We'll flash back to the med lab. Rohir is up again.
All right, I'll rush towards the cloning machine and pretty much use my robotic arm, to pull this guy out, and immediately put the gun to his head and blow his brains out.
Nice. So one of the Jalen Wraith's clones' head explodes. He never opened his eyes. You have a plasma officer's pistol, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't destroy the machine, but the encasing, past Jalen Wraith's now exploded head has shattered. The plasma blast has burned through a hole in the side of the med lab wall, but it doesn't seem to have breached the hull.
Nice.
Okay, so that just happened, and then now it goes to Longveer.
Blood streaming down my face. All I can do is okay, go, help, Doc! And I just keep squeezing, hoping to all the heavens that this head will just pop off and this thing will just pass out.
You can spend your own willpower to give you 3 extra dice as well. Just a little extra oomph.
Yes, that actually might be enough then. Let me, I don't want to have the wrong thing open.
Yeah, I believe it's 3 extra dice. I should double check. Yep, plus 3 dice.
How much? Your will is still maxed at the amount of will you have, right?
Yeah, it's like a pool you can use. Yeah, so
Okay, so that's your resolve. I just wanted to make sure I didn't, I don't know, I could add 2 will or 1 in it or something like that. Would have been like, Alright, so 12 and still -2, right?
Yeah, -2 from the defense. I'm gonna do -1 because his head's almost torn off.
Yeah.
9. 8 more dice. 2 is not. It takes too long.
It's a good problem to have, I guess. Right?
This must be the first time any role player ever said that.
It's because I only keep my single set on my table over here. I don't take my bag with me. All right, and then I got 2 10s. Success. So 7 successes.
Okay, describe how you rip off Gino's head and destroy him.
I just let out a feral scream, and Kaizen energy kind of flows off my eyes, and my arms get bigger, and then there's a snapping, ripping, spraying of all types of liquids out the creature's head, and it snaps off, and I kind of triumphantly hold it above my head and toss it across the room, and then hope to God that it can't function without its head.
Okay. All right, so the Geno body just sort of stands there. It doesn't fall over, but all of the lights have gone off of it.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we'll go back to Phil and Alkov. You guys are running. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second here. Alex.
Yes?
You do wake up. And you find that when you wake up, there's this voice that you swore you heard at the end of your dream, even though you're locked in your cage.
Okay.
And you thought it was Pawn's voice. And sort of in your head is when you, I guess we'll say that when you crawl out of your cage, this invitation to this virtual world is there.
Oh.
Like, join new realms. Fun, excitement, live your life
I'm getting
vicariously.
pop-up ads now, basically.
What's that? I'm sorry.
I'm getting pop-up ads now?
Yeah, you essentially got a pop-up ad as soon as you pop your head out into your cage.
Okay. I'm obviously going to examine what the hell that is. Just poke around the code if I can.
So do you accept the invitation?
I'm going to figure out what it will do if I accept it. I'll hack it. Or,
Okay.
do whatever I can to examine the code rather than... I'll read the user license agreement if I have to. And that'll take a while.
Yeah, there's just a little tab that says I agree. That's basically it. So once you roll me like intelligence plus computer.
Okay, that would be great. Can I have a hacking specialty on that?
Yes, you can.
Beautiful, thank you. Oh, wow. 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes.
Yeah.
It looks like this is some sort of prototype virtual realm technology. It's brand new on the market. It's Gonjan in origin. It was produced by Adipose Industries. And supposedly, it has lots of different settings. And what I mean by settings, like the RPG sense. Like, there's basically you make your own realm, and you are the god or king of that place. So it's supposed to feed off your subconscious memories and wills and wishes. And all you need to do is plug your flesh port into it.
Oh, lovely.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. And it's locking me out of all the other systems?
Right now, that is the only thing that you can access on the ship.
Okay, I think I'm going to hit... What? And I couldn't make out what Pawn was saying?
No, you couldn't. You just felt like you heard her voice.
Okay. I guess I'll hit accept. And just try and monitor what it's doing and see if I can safeguard myself.
Whenever you hit accept, you are surrounded in a very colorful setting. What does it look like?
It looks kind of like what you would imagine the inside of a Rubik's Cube would look like. Wait, am I designing this myself?
Yes, you are.
As Bryce, or
as Bryce.
Is it something I'm just coming into? Oh, okay. Crap.
It's feeding off
all right.
Subconscious.
It looks like I guess right now it looks like the layout of the ship.
Okay, in front of you is standing Pawn, and she's completely naked. She reaches out her hands and attempts to kiss you.
Ooh. I think that instead of letting her kiss him, he will hold both of Pawn's hands and just sort of ease them away from him. And I guess bring them down at, I guess, waist height and put them between the two of them. And say, what is this about, Pawn?
She opens her mouth, and what it looks like high-capacity information pipeline, like what you would think like the inside of like a wire or something like that. And she has this pleading look on her face, and she winks.
Oh, that's very strange. Okay, now is the pleading look incongruous to the wink?
There's a pleading look. And then there's a wink. I mean, yeah, however you...
All right.
That's what happens. It doesn't seem like she can speak.
Now, this is just going to be out of a bizarre mental reflex. He's going to take a page out of the Good Doctor's book and reach in to her mouth with one of his hands as quickly as he can.
Okay. As soon as you do that, you have total access to the computer's sensors, the entire system. You can tell that Pawn has been removed from that system. She no longer exists in the system, but she seems to exist in the virtual world New Realms.
Okay.
So you have total access to the ship. you see that there's a Jylin Wraith on the ship's cockpit in the seat. You see Zixon standing beside him. You see a damaged, you see everything that's happening.
All right.
So
now, do I still have, has this basically consumed my headspace, or am I still able to navigate in the real world and,
How about you give me a willpower roll to see if you can do both?
Okay.
Yeah, just roll the number of dots you have in willpower.
Yeah. I exploded twice. Okay, that was 4 successes?
So you are perfectly capable of operating in the New Realms, virtual world, as well as the real world at this point.
Okay. I think that he's going to grab his rifle from under the bed and start moving into the crew quarters hallway. Okay. And he'll move towards the bridge first.
Okay, so we'll go back to Alakov and Phil. You guys are running to the med lab, and you enter in the door, so everyone that's in the med lab can now talk to each other.
And I really see. What? Whatever. You go first.
Oh, okay. I'll rush in. I'll say, "Is everyone all right? What's?"
Do we look alright?
Oh, you're not being attacked anymore, so we need to go deal with the other assholes. Where's the next closest Jylin? And say, looking at Theo.
That's in the cockpit. We gotta stop him.
Alright, as soon as you say cockpit, I turn around and run away, completely ignoring the crew. It's like, the people that were trying to kill you are dead. Other people would think me to deal with.
Doc, I think, and then you gotta look at him, there's blood kind of pouring out of the side of my face where my nose was ripped off. Do you think we could fix this?
I'm sure I can. Where's your nose?
I can't see it.
I kind of look around. Do I see it anywhere?
Do you?
Probably. It's probably flung against the wall or something. And like, oh God! I grab the nose, and as I grab it, I will probably feel that energy from myself is running into the nose. As I come over here and lie down.
I kind of hobble.
As I kind of place the nose on where it is, and I start to grapple for some tools to reconnect it. I'll probably notice that the tissue itself is already reconnecting itself to the nose.
Awesome.
How many? What kind of damage did you take?
Out of game 2, I think. Yeah, 2 health.
Yeah, I believe it's 2. Mm-hmm.
All right. Then your nose will be completely reconnected, as in without any tools or something. As you see the doctor kind of stepping back and looking like, what the?
Oh crap! Oh, it already starts to feel better. What did you do?
I don't know.
I kind of reach out and grab your arm and be like, don't tell anyone about the head, how it came off.
I kind of hold the tool in my hand, which I was about to use, and what the?
Yeah, meanwhile, you have Theo and Lyran looking on.
Well, actually,
I thought they took off for the cockpit.
Yeah, those 2 were enough, right?
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, don't say anything about that, and I won't say anything about this awesome development for you.
Deal.
All right, so actually we're after 4. I did just notice what time it was. So we'll say that you guys are running towards the cockpit, and there's this dramatic scene that happened in the med lab, and that'll be the end of today's session.
Tune in next time for Wars.
Why are these so short? Damn it.
Yeah, we started at 1 and it's 4. So But yeah, guys, I guess we'll just go around the table real quick. Alikov, any additional thoughts about today?
Well, we'll see next time if I kind of walk back from the complete sociopath thing, or if that was just that I hate Earthers, or if it was really that I'm becoming a maniac. But this was fun.
How about you, Alex?
That was totally not the twist I thought you were going to pull with the printing machine. But, it's devious.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, this will get interesting.
So just wondering, that's easy, buddy. What twist did you expect as my GM years grow?
I thought you were printing Pawn.
Oh wow, that would have been cool.
But yeah, this is. I can't say this is scarier, but this is also scary. In different ways. And yeah, it probably is scarier now that she's trying to kiss me naked in dream space.
Yeah, I'd be a little freaked out, man.
Okay. Yeah, you nailed the horror in this one.
All right, how about you, Phil? Any final thoughts?
I actually, I was thinking it back when we started this whole thing. I was thinking about the possible plots that might unravel, and this was one of those things I was thinking about. That because Alex's character is connected to the computer, I thought, I know there's going to be something that's going to happen where they're going to get connected, and there's going to be like either a battle of will going on or something. And with the 3D printer though, I was thinking, well, there's only going to be so many things, and I figured it was going to be Lai Ren coming back.
Jylin Wraith?
Oh no, Jylin, that's right.
Because Lai Ren is the captain. The captain's cloning himself. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
16 captains on one ship. Oh my god.
And they're all sociopaths.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. This was a great session. Awesome.
How about you right here? Any final thoughts?
No, just as usual, I had a ton of fun, and it's cool to play with you guys, and it's just interesting to see the story develop.
Yeah. Speaking of which, if anyone is interested in a Chanson the Lost game, I'm looking for an extra player for it because one of mine dropped out before we started. So, if any of you are interested in that, we've set it for Tuesday, but we can move that if another day would be better.
Okay, yeah, if you have any wishes to play, just get a hold of Alikov. And John, you're the final one. What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I had fun, and I was lucky enough to be able to pull the robot's head off, so
yeah, that was
that
cool.
worked out. Yeah, I do feel bad that I didn't have anything for my solo story. That was really cool, but I had already given a bunch of background on my character, so
yeah,
I didn't want to replay that stuff. So
I liked seeing the father get taken away. That was kind of a cool scene.
Well, I wanted something that started his whole thoughts against, I'm assuming Gungeon are programmed, they're pre-programmed from Earth almost to be, worshiping the AI. So why would he be different than the others?
Right, that actually is something that, like, the fact that you beat the test, that actually is something that could, if my character believes that you, like, if you just said that, he would think you were lying. Or he would think
of course, yeah.
But if he has shown proof that you actually did, then and your father is taken away for it, then he would be like, oh, well, the AI isn't superior to us, and he would actually believe you. Because I've been thinking ever since I learned what your character was, like, how would my character be convinced that the AI isn't superior? And unless he is, he won't really defect from Gungeon. But this is cool.
Yeah, it almost seems like it's an impossible task. Like, I can't ever see him really convincing a large mass of people. Like, maybe a few people here and there, and then you get those, that's about it. So he had to go to the Maverick, and he had to go to the Earthers to get support.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I guess that's it for today, then. I will see you next week.
All right.
Good gaming, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye.